It's episode 643 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you feel you're a traditional sort of weirdo,
Ooh, nice.
or perhaps you're a non-traditional weirdo, which I think just means a normie. I'm a non-traditional weirdo. Okay.
What
Tell
does
me
that
another way
mean?
that you're normcore.
What is a traditional weirdo, though? That's my follow-up question.
I mean, I think that gamers fall into, for the most part,
Traditional weirdos?
It's like gamers, theater people, circus people.
And that's it.
And that's it. We've reached to the end of the line.
Non-traditional weirdos are all weirdos that fall outside those three categories.
Yeah.
Welcome to you. This is a podcast about Magic the Gathering. Sort of. I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
Wait, I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
I know, I stole your line.
Wow.
Because I'm a non-traditional weirdo. Just kidding. I'm pretty traditional in the weirdo sense.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Yeah.
On today's episode...
Gaming.
Yes.
Theater.
Correct. What was the third thing? Circus? No, I fall short there.
Well,
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
You can probably say all 3 out of 3, though.
I have participated in some circus in my life.
See,
so
that's what I'm
there
saying.
we go.
Yeah.
3 out of 3.
3 out of 3. Traditional weirdo.
Traditional weirdo.
On today's episode, we are talking about Final Fantasy, new cards, spoilers from the set, as well as standard ?
That's right. I've been playing some standard.
What?
Why, you ask? Well, sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes them gems run out.
Sometimes you just gotta play something that don't cost you money.
Exactly. And let me tell
Yeah.
you, that's what I've been doing. And so I was like, do you know what? I don't want to play anything that I've built before. I'm feeling bored. And so I went to go look at the traditional standard ranked deck lists the week of May 12th. Obviously, now there's been another set published from May 19th forward, and we can look at those too.
Yeah.
But I was like scrolling through because initially in my head, I was like, I want to play one of those Azorius Omniscience lists.
Oh, yeah, for
I
sure.
was like, this seems up my alley.
It does.
I would like to do this. But I was like scrolling through and I was like, wait, I'm like 5 lists deep and I have not recognized any of these lists.
I love it.
And I've played 2 of them so far. One of them I've played a bunch. I literally made it all the way through gold because I never play standard. So I was all the way down in silver.
Let's go.
But let me
to the
tell you, it just like
moon.
rocketed me right on up there through the first couple of levels of platinum too, honestly, with this deck. And then I swapped over to another one. It's just been a great time. I want to try all of these on here, honestly, because
Where are
they're
you?
such a...
Where are you looking
This
for
is
people who
at
don't know?
magic.gg.
Okay.
If you go to the deck lists tab at the very top of it, there's like old Pro Tour or Spotlight stuff. But if you go down to latest deck lists, there's the ones from each week that are platinum to mythic rank players who got 6 wins in a row.
All right. So this isn't just anybody's deck list. These are players who are winning with this at the highest tiers of arena play.
Yes. And let me tell you, when you look at this one deck, you're going to be like, what is this? But I have to tell you, I simply was not losing matches.
Okay, well, I'm very excited by that news. We're also going to tell you what's going on in standard in the competitive sphere of things at the RCQ level, at the Spotlight Series level.
Yeah.
And tell you what's winning there and then kind of compare it to what your experiences have been like playing some of these decks that are just maybe flying under the radar of some of the pros.
Yeah. It's a good time out there.
Hey,
if
man,
you want it to be.
Next month, we have a pro tour.
Whoa, we truly do. It's going to be in Las Vegas.
It's going to be standard.
It's going to be the warmest temperature recorded for a pro tour ever. I don't know that that's true, but it really seems possible.
Indoors, no, because Vegas blasts the AC like it's their job.
They hammer it with you. They hammer you with it.
Yes. But like in Europe, they're a little more chill, for lack of a better term, on the AC.
They're very chill on the AC.
And so it's like warm inside those venues. Yeah. So are we measuring the temperature outside or inside for this contest?
Yeah, I guess outside was my thought for the contest.
Outside.
Because obviously Barcelona wins indoors.
Yes, it does.
Hottest pro tour.
Yes, it does. We had like fans under the desk like blowing up at us.
It was warm.
It was not good. It was not a good situation. Okay, great. So yeah, Vegas. So we're kind of like have that in our sights as we talk about standard. Like where are we going to end up? Of course, Final Fantasy releasing here on the 13th of June, so not too far away, and that's going to shake things up in standard too, I presume.
Yeah.
The cards are very good.
And it's going to be right before that Pro Tour.
Love when that happens. I love it. And it's also the largest standard ever currently, and is only going to continue to grow.
And it's only going to get bigger.
Which so far we were wondering, we're like, is this going to mean that standard is weird and sucky? But it kind of seems to mean that there's a lot of variety.
There's a lot of variety. Maybe the answer for more variety was always just more card.
Variety.
More card. Hey, guess what? More card.
More card.
That'll do it.
That might do it. Before we kick off the show, huge, enormous thank you and congratulations to yourself, our patrons.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone who is a patron of our show. Good Luck High Five could not exist without you. It is just the truth. We say it every time because it is true every single time. It's like, I wish that you could say something was more than true because it's like a foundational
true.
fact.
You are the concrete upon which this house is built.
Yes.
And the rest of it is mere twigs.
You cannot have a house without a foundation, and you are the foundation of our house.
You can support us by heading over to patreon.com/GLHF Magic, choosing the tier level you want to donate at. $2 gets you into the Discord, all the way up to $20 to become a producer and get longer episodes of Good Luck High Five every single week. Some podcasts offer you an extra episode a month. No. We give you extra content every single podcast if you're a producer, and it adds up to probably something like 3 additional shows every month. I would say, because sometimes we get on a real roll with those segments and we talk for 45 extra minutes. So consider that if you want more content from us. That's just mostly nonsense related.
We do have a new patron to thank.
Yay!
Thank you so much to new patron Greg.
Greg! Thank you so much.
We are Gregging you all to appreciate Greg.
Wow.
You know.
Hey, Greg, you've got some great Gregs on you. That's about your legs, in case you were wondering.
I think we knew. I hope that we knew.
That's a comment about your A+ gams, Greg. Thanks for becoming a new patron. You're the best. There's also something that we're doing this weekend I wanted to call out. If you're fans of Loading Ready Run fans,
yes,
Megan and I are going to be doing a shift on Desert Bus, hanging out with everybody from we're the daytime shift on Saturday the 24th.
Yeah.
So if you tune in during the daytime to this Desert Bus they're running, raising money for charity, a children's cancer charity in Canada, tune on in. You'll see us there hanging out with some other people doing some shenanigans.
Yes.
Twitch.tv/Loading Ready Run while somebody drives a bus for a long period of time in the most boring game ever created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can convince them to play some silly games.
Oh, yeah, for sure we're going to. It's going to be nothing but silly games.
Nothing but silly games.
We have an 8-hour shift. What else are we going to do?
Wow. I don't know.
Then play silly games. Yeah. I mean, we've got to play Truth or Dare. I mean,
can the person driving the bus ever take dare? Can they get up?
I don't know.
We can dare them for things that are, game inclusive.
I dare you to drive the bus with your eyes closed for 5 minutes.
Wow.
They would for sure crash.
They for sure crash.
Yeah.
It's okay. Nothing bad happened.
Let's talk about Final Fantasy previews, including our previews.
Yeah, because we have some.
We sure do have some. If you checked us out on social media, you saw us post these, but we didn't get to really talk at you about them.
No, we are going to talk at you now, because that's how podcasting works.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not that we're talking over you. It's not that you're here. We're simply talking at you.
Wait, let me ask you all a question so you can feel like you're part of this conversation. Okay, how are you today? Wow, thanks for letting me know that. I hope your day gets better and or stays awesome. Now you're part of the conversation.
Wow. And I'm going to ask, what's with that outfit, man?
Wow. 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 That was just the judgment.
I know.
What?
Sorry.
Megan calls it like she sees it.
That's just what I was feeling in the moment.
Let's talk about our first preview card. Yes. Edgar, King of Figaro.
Love it.
I obviously love any magic card named Edgar, so I am partial to this.
This one has some sick abilities. 4 blue for a legendary creature, human artificer noble. He's a 4/5. When Edgar enters, draw a card for each artifact you control.
Sick.
All right, Artifact King, go off.
Yeah.
And 2-headed coin. The first time you flip 1 or more coins each turn, those coins come up heads and you win those flips.
I love it.
Yes.
Coin flip deck. Let's go. I know there's not enough cards to support this.
But Maria, there are some powerful cards.
Yes, there are. And to be able to influence, I think could be very, very fun with Edgar. By the way, I want to give you all a brief update about my Final Fantasy VI journey as it is relevant to Edgar, King of Figaro. I have now played the game for a period of time where I have now met Edgar. I'm fighting Kefka. That's where I'm at. So not very far, but far enough. And Edgar is like one of my favorites in the game. First of all, he hits on everybody, which is a very funny quality. And he fights with his auto crossbow, which can hit all dudes at once. And so big fan of that, Edgar. Big fan.
I'm going to throw out some cards that just have coin flip abilities.
Okay, great.
Breaches the Blast Maker.
Yes.
This is the one where if you, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, flip a coin. When you win the flip, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Yes. Breaches is in my Pirate Ladies deck and is one of the best cards in the deck for sure.
Great. Creepy Doll. This is the 1/1 for 5 that's indestructible. Whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy that creature.
Great. Okay. So we're destroying.
Yeah, just happening every time.
Man, this Edgar would be sick in this Pirate Ladies deck.
Fiery Gambit. Sorcery. Flip a coin until you lose a flip or choose to stop flipping. If you lose a flip, Fiery Gambit has no effect. If you win 1 or more flips, Fiery Gambit deals 3 damage to target creature. If you win 2 or more flips, Fiery Gambit deals 6 damage to each opponent. If you win 3 or more flips, draw 9 cards and untap all lands you control.
Okay, so you have a pretty, you have a 50-50 shot at hitting the third one of that, which is pretty great.
Pretty nice.
So, okay, maybe I was wrong about how many cards care about coin flips. Maybe it's totally something we can do.
Yeah, and there's a lot in the same colors, right? There's a lot of red. Red loves to flip a coin.
Yeah.
There's Invert Polarity, which is from one of the recent Modern Master sets. Blue, blue, red, instant. Choose target spell, then flip a coin. If you win the flip, gain control of that spell, and you may choose new targets for it.
Sick.
If you lose the flip, counter that spell.
I just love random elements in games of Commander, I must say.
Yeah.
And so coin flips doesn't get much more random than that other than a dice roll.
I think notably, this is the one that I was thinking of.
Okay.
Because this one would be really wild.
Okay, great.
Because you do it all at once. Ral Zarek, 2 blue red for 4 loyalty, legendary planeswalker Ral. He comes in, like I said, with 4 loyalty, -7. Flip 5 coins. Take an extra turn after this one for each coin that comes up heads.
Megan, come on now.
And this is the first time you flip 1 or more coins. And so this would be the first time that you're flipping coins. Like you flip all 5 of those coins. So you can just take 5 extra turns.
Disgusting.
Anyways, if you wanted to know one of the grossest things you could do with this card.
Well, there you go. Edgar, King of Figaro. This card is awesome.
Yeah.
I love him. He's rare.
I love this next card also. Torgal, a fine hound.
You know what? Is he good? No, but he fine.
That's a fine hound.
That's a fine hound. 1 and a green for a 2/2 legendary creature wolf at uncommon. Whenever you cast your first human creature spell each turn, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. For each dog and or wolf you control, tap, add 1 mana of any color.
Aww.
I love the flavor text too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up.
Aww.
What a good dog.
A fine hound.
A fine hound. And we have the alternate art version of this card as well, which is beautiful.
It's really stunning. It's so good.
This is art from Makura Tami. He has beautiful blue and gray like fur that kind of looks like waves, quite honestly. Waves in a valley. I don't know. I love it. Torgal, you are a very fine hound. And
you are a fine hound.
Wait, what's the song about the girl? Oh my God. You know, the sea. She's in the sea. Brandy. Brandy may be a fine girl. Torgal is a fine hound. We got there. You know, the girl in the sea.
Yes. Now I know. I got there.
Great. We also have a very special card to show you, which is a Through the Ages bonus sheet card. You can get these cards in the Play and Collector boosters, not standard legal, but they're the ones that feature actual moments, art from actual moments of the games.
Yes, so we have Vaughn, Aspiring Sky Pirate, 2 in a red. This is Captain Lannery Storm.
Yes.
So 2 in a red for a 2/2 legendary creature, human pirate with haste. Whenever Vaughn attacks, create a treasure token. Whenever you sacrifice a treasure, Vaughn gets +1/+0 until end of turn.
This is very cool art on these. I don't know who Vaughn is. Maybe Vaughn's in 6. I'm not sure. Maybe Vaughn will show up in your game of 7. Or maybe some other game in the future, but it is a very cool art treatment on Captain Lannery Storm. So that is available as well, like I mentioned, in Play and Collector boosters. Those ones are going to show up. So that is a look at our personal preview cards. And I just wanted to call out a few cards which have been previewed over the last week since our last episode that I think are personally cool. Final Fantasy must go in some strange directions because there is a UFO which exists and has been previewed. Don't know how we get there, but the game has proven to me to be far more expansive than I initially thought when I started playing. Poo-poo UFO. 2 mana for an 0/4 artifact creature construct alien at uncommon. It has flying. Tap, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. 3, until end of turn, this creature's base power becomes equal to the number of towns you control. And last week, you remember we told you, towns is a new land subtype.
Yes, I love towns.
Yeah.
Towns are nice.
So, Megan, remember when you beat me with that Gates deck in our...
Yeah.
In that
Time
episode?
for towns deck?
Yeah, are you going to make towns?
Wow, if you can win somehow with just towns. Absolutely.
It'd be very cool.
Yes. We have Buster Sword.
Oh, man.
Which I just, again, like the name of.
This is the giant sword that Cloud holds.
Yes, giant sword. It is a mythic. 3 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost.
This card is sweet.
In an equip cost of 2.
I love this card.
Me too.
Great.
There's also really great alternate art
alt
for
art
it.
on it is badass.
So sick.
And also, Cloud, how are you holding this sword? Does the game explain it? Megan, maybe we'll find out.
Look, I think it's just like this like stab down, like,
It's so big. It's like 3 times the size of his body.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yes.
How is it wielded? That's my question. That's all I wanted to know. Oh man, more chocobos. Thank you everybody who didn't yell at me for how I pronounced that last week. We get to see a lot of cards with Moogles on them.
Do you know what? I don't remember even how you said it last week. I'm going to assume it was correct.
Several times until we did get it right though at the end. Moogles Valor. I played with Moogles in the game. They help you out. They're bros. 3 white instant. For each creature you control, create a 1/2 white Moogle creature token with lifelink. Then creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn.
Oh.
Go Moogles, go!
Go Moogles, go Moogles, go.
People are really speculating about what is going to end up being cutest card and grossest card in this set.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
look, we have like this important Choco. Seeker of Paradise.
I love this Choco.
1 green, white, blue for a legendary creature, bird. At rare, it's a 3/5. Whenever 1 or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may put 1 of them into your hand, then put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped and the rest into your graveyard. Wow. Whenever a land you control enters, Choco gets +1/+0 until end of turn.
Love that. And I did.
Great.
I do want to build a birds deck.
Birds
deck with a lot of
chocobos.
Chocobos. Oh my God. See, I did it wrong again.
Chocobos.
And so that's, could end up in there. We will see.
Chocobo.
It's possible. I wanted to call out the card Laughing Mad just because it makes me think of something from the game. So this is art. I believe this is Kefka on this card. 2 in a red. Instant as an additional cost to cast it. Discard a card. Draw 2 cards. Flashback for 3 in a red. First of all, great. Thumbs up. Love flashback. But so this character in the game is messed up.
Whoa, tell me more.
I played a lot of, RPGs, mainly Mario related. So
love it. Hey, an RPG is an RPG, baby.
Mario storyline, it's kind of Disney-esque. We're not getting too dark or whatever, right? Playing this game, this guy like is crazy and also
Is
a
crazy.
sadist and like poisons a river to kill entire populations and like laughs about it. And he's like, ha ha ha, they're all dead. I killed them. And people are like, ooh, isn't that like a war crime? And he's like, shut up, you little, grow a pair. Get out of here. Like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Whoa.
And like you see somebody's family like get killed and then they see their family is dead and they see their family like go to the afterlife and he has to watch them go. And I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't know this about Final Fantasy. I didn't know it was like a super dark like tale that's like not afraid to like look into these questions.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, 2 thumbs up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm here for a villain that's like a real villain, you know, and dealing with some tough issues. Anyway, sorry everybody who's a Final Fantasy person is like, yeah, obviously, Maria. I didn't know. Never played these games before. So yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of cool to figure that out and kind of ride the story from there.
Yeah. What about do we know anything about this character?
I don't.
Ultimecia, temporal threat?
No.
I mean,
It has the word time in it.
exactly. I like it. But according to the quote, her heart is filled with anger and hate. So I think stuff looks bad for me in terms of liking this character.
What is
Seems
it?
like
What
maybe
is it?
not.
Does it give you an extra turn?
It does not.
Okay, just
4
checking.
blue for a 4/4 legendary creature, human warlock at rare. When Ultimecia enters, tap all creatures your opponents control.
Okay.
Thank you. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Oh,
Love it.
All right. I was
I mean,
about
so you
ready
just
to
get
have
like
you
a
take an
free.
extra turn.
No, I know. Me too, a little bit, but no. I'm just saying, like, this art is great. Also, I love her wings.
I think Megan. Okay, here's what I was saying about playing the game. So we both said it was kind of hard to get into. It doesn't really hold your hand like
No, at all.
Mario cough or whatever. And also it was designed like a million years ago. So like you're constantly questioning yourself like, is this a glitch? Is this how it should be? Is something wrong or whatever? But I played like next to it. I had a guide pulled up on my phone. So if I ever felt like I have a question of, should I really be like spending my time doing something this way or is it better spent somewhere else? And a couple of times I was like, there is no way in hell I would have ever chosen to do what you have told me to do in this guide. But so that I think, you know what? I don't think it's cheating, okay? It's experiencing it how you want to experience it. And it helped me get through some of the parts of the game when I was just like, what? And truly, it's giving me such a greater appreciation of all these cards coming out. So
you got to tell me about that messed up dude.
Oh yeah, for real. That messed up dude. And it's actually it's a very fun game. So like it is really fun. It just takes a little bit of a learning curve and looking at a guide from 1991 on your phone.
Thank you. Guy from 1991.
Thanks, Internet.
Thanks, Internet from 1991. When the Internet was full of helpful things.
Oh, man.
And
the
not
glory
trash.
days. I could wax poetic about the glory days of the Internet for so long. When
Truly.
it was new. We were all on an equal playing field. There was information. There was blogs.
We didn't
know. There was forums.
We didn't know.
We didn't know what the monster we had created. Anyway, Final Fantasy, everyone. Comes out on the 13th.
Hey everyone, if you're wondering where you can order some of the sweet cards of Final Fantasy, cardkingdom.com/GLHF Magic is the place to do it.
Absolutely. Are you looking to get sealed product from Final Fantasy? If you have placed your order before midnight on June 2nd, that's midnight Pacific time, your order will ship June 6th, so you'll have your sealed product on pre-release weekend. Early.
Get it early.
A whole week early.
Yes.
And let me tell you, after you go to your pre-release and you can like go home and like do another, play some sealed with your friends or whatever you want to do, crack your box open, you're going to feel so smart because how many times have I been at the store, I play the pre-release and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could just crack some packs right now. I wish I had a box. And they're like, no, we don't have any because we sold out, which was what happened in Tarkir, Dragonstorm.
Yeah.
So don't let me from the past be you of the future.
Whoa.
Use Card Kingdom.
That's what time travel loops have always taught us.
That's so true. You should also check out Dragon Shield, my fine feathered friends. You can find the link to where to get your Dragon Shield products in the show notes or beneath this video. Lots of different amazing sleeves to keep your Final Fantasy cards
Are you worried
perfected.
about your little chocobo claws tearing up your cards, don't worry, put them in Dragon Shield sleeves. The perfect sleeves for chocobos of all Magic playing types.
Chocobo claws can't get through Dragon Shield. Did you know that?
Wow.
That's a fact.
Canonically, that's what we're saying right now.
That is a fact. They cannot be destroyed by Chocobo. So, like, pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And you can find our sleeves, Commander Arcade logo, our Rainbow Feldegriff sleeves. All you have to do is search GLHF when you go to their website. All non-GLHF sleeves, by the way, are 5% off at checkout if you use code GLHF over at Dragon Shield.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? It's free money.
Why wouldn't you? Maria.
Yes.
Would you like to hear about a standard deck that I've been playing? That I am legitimately
I'm so curious at this point, I must say.
I became obsessed with it over the weekend.
I love this for you.
I had such a good time, and what's so funny to me is that it looks like a pile of trash.
Well, that's always the best deck to play.
It is so fun. Okay, this is a geological appraiser deck. It is red-white.
Wait, what?
Yes. What it really is, though, is a Sage of the Skies deck. Okay, so Sage of the Skies is from Tarkir Dragonstorm. It's the 2 and a white human monk that's a 2/3. When you cast the spell, if you've cast another spell this turn, copy this spell. Well, there are...
And it's flying lifelink.
And it has flying and lifelink, which is very important.
That's, like, you cast a spell in Dragonstorm, you're like, I guess I win the game.
It's so good. So there's a geological appraiser, which is way back from Caverns of Ixalan.
Wow, I don't remember that set anymore.
2 red for a 3/2. I think no one else did except this person who built this deck.
Yeah.
When geological appraiser enters the battlefield, if you cast it, discover 3.
Oh, okay.
So the only things this deck is brilliant.
Nice.
Okay,
I love it.
And I'm going to tell you why.
I love it.
Because it uses some of the new omens and then also the adventures so that you do have early plays, right? You have the adventure side of Virtue of Loyalty, which is 1 and a white at an instant that makes the 2/2 White Knight with Vigilance.
Right, yes.
You have Riling Dawnbreaker, which is the 3/4 dragon, but at 1 and a white for sorcery omen, you create a 2/2 White Soldier creature token. And then it also has finally Twin Maw Stormbrood, which is another dragon, but at 1 and a red, it's a sorcery. Charring Bite deals 5 damage to target creature without flying.
This is so great because the only thing you can hit is your Sage of the Skies.
Or your other discover card with this, which is Atali's Favor. But if you hit Natali's Favor, this is, I know, Maria's looking at this card like, what is this? You remember this from draft. 2 and a red, enchantment Aura, enchant creature you control. When Atali's Favor enters the battlefield, discover 3. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has trample.
So even if you hit it, it's just going to do it again.
Yes, it just does it again. I've gone geological appraiser, Atali's Favor, Atali's Favor, Atali's Favor, Sage of the Skies.
My God. Are your opponents just like, what is happening?
I truly think that every single person I played against was just like, what?
I love this.
Because let me tell you, all of the decks that are playing 1-for-1 removal, it just doesn't work.
No.
Because you cast 1 creature and what you actually cast is 3 creatures.
Yeah.
It also runs Quintorius Canned. He's his Planeswalker form, 3 red-white for 4 loyalty. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, Quintorius Canned deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. +1, create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. -3, discover 4. Those are like the 2, you know.
Okay. You have Virtue of Loyalty, like you mentioned, to make yourself a knight or give you a long game by giving the +1/+1 counters.
Absolutely. Love this. Have multiple times 1 by later on casting the enchantment side.
Wow.
Which is just so good. Like this deck is just... Oh, it also has, this is genius. Again, it has 4 copies of Ride's End because this is a 5 mana.
Yep.
Instant. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a tapped permanent. Exile target creature or vehicle. So again, you can cast this at 2. Even though it's a 5 mana spell, if you're playing an aggro deck, you cast this at 2. Like you have so many plays at 2, which is what you need.
But you're not gonna.
But you're not going to hit any of them when you want to discover into multiple copies of Sage of the Skies.
Wow, that is brilliant.
I wish that I...
Oh, you do have 2 copies of Voice of Victory, though.
That's true. And every once in a while you hit one and you're a little sad about it. But the reason why you have Voice of Victory is 1, you a lot of times do really want to make sure that you have a 2-drop in case you draw on Atali's favor, you have one. So you can discover on 3, which is nice. And then also it helps, again, with those Atali's favor. If you have this guy out, they can't cast spells on your turn, so you know it's going to be able to land on your creature.
Sure.
Every once in a while, though, you do hit it on Cascade, and you're like, this blows.
Oh, wow. What a fun deck.
I was so close to putting this deck on this list again for this week because I won so many matches in a row with it.
Oh, man, you just got to get to 6.
Yes, and I was at like 5 or something, and then I hit a loss, and it was brutal. Which I wanted to do because I will say what is wild about this is that there's only 10 cards in the sideboard.
I mean, when you have perfection, why mess with it?
But I will say that I felt like I made it felt a little weak sometimes to aggro versions of decks to me. So even I decided that like they were also really going for not being able to cascade into stuff that you don't want to cast.
Yeah.
But honestly, because so much of your stuff is at 3 and 4, I put temporary lockdown in here.
Okay.
Because you don't mind cascading into a temporary lockdown.
I love that.
It's actually pretty nice. I like put some copies of the one big thing that I added was Kutzel's Flanker, which is the
Kutzel's Flanker. I know. It just sounds like nonsense. I don't know what Kutzel's Flanker.
You sound crazy right now.
Kutzel's Flanker.
Kutzel's Flanker. This is the 3/1, 2 and a white with
art.
flash.
Yeah.
When it enters this is the important part. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1, put a +1/+1 counter on it. You gain 2 life and scry 2, or you exile target player's graveyard. It's a really good toolbox card.
Sure.
And so I think that it fits really nicely into the sideboard of this deck.
Wow.
So I want to throw it out there. Like I said, this one is from the May 12th traditional standard ranked deck lists. I was having an absolute blast playing this deck.
That deck sounds so fun.
And like I said,
it's just like a cascade, like
exactly. It's so good because so many decks right now are trying to just 1-for-1 all the time.
Yeah.
And this is like
going right over the top of them.
You literally can't 1-for-1 me if I cast one spell that actually is 3 spells. It's a bad time
can't be
for
done.
you.
Keep in mind we were talking about best of 3 standard here, everybody. Best of 1 is, I don't know. I don't even want to know what's going on in it, quite honestly.
I have no idea what's going on in there.
Okay, great. I love this deck. What else did you try?
All right. I also tried I'm calling this, it's like mono white or colorless Eugene control.
All right.
Where you just cast a bunch of ramp spells and then you cast Eugene Eye of Storms.
Okay, yeah. I'm familiar with the man.
Yes. So this deck has 2 of the Iron Crag of all things.
Wow.
I know. And then 4 Hedron Archive.
Hedron's Archive's the one that taps for colorless.
Yep, it's 4 mana and taps for 2 colorless. Then you're running, of course, 4 Day of Judgment and 3 Lay Down Arms. So this really is like a classic.
Just sweep, kill, get rid of stuff.
Kill, 4 Beza, the Bounding Spring.
Ugh, Beza, get out of here.
4 Overlord of the Mistmoors, and then 2 Elspeth Storm Slayer.
Who would win? Elspeth Storm Slayer or Eugene the Spirit Dragon?
Wow.
I ask you this question because I myself was faced with such a dilemma this past weekend in the Arena Open.
Oh, you mean literally?
Literally, who would win?
Who would win? Like the cards. I thought you were asking me to.
Oh,
I was like, they're on the same side. Thank goodness, because I never want to pick.
No.
Wow.
In a game.
Okay. The thing is, if Elspeth comes down first, Eugene wins. Because he enters and exiles her.
Because he take care of her. Yeah.
But if it goes Eugene Elspeth,
then you have a problem.
I think that Elspeth does it because you're not casting enough colorless spells to get the exile trigger.
Yeah, because in a sealed deck, you're not like, what are you gonna go find?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. No, this happened to me. I had Eugene in my deck, and I was like, wow, can't lose. Also, my deck was really sweet. My opponent's like, but Elspeth, and I'm like, oh
no,
you right. And it was even sadder because I had Stormplane Detainment, their Elspeth at some point, and then they were able to bounce it and replay it. And I mean, she is just a house. Like,
I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, it takes a lot to beat Eugene, but if Elspeth comes down second, she gets the job done.
She can make a lot of power and toughness on that board.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
So this deck, I've only played 2. games with it. One was against a deck that I haven't tried yet, but I am also really like.
Okay.
Which is a Teamer Dragons list.
What? I want to play Teamer Dragons.
I know. Well, you can.
Wow.
Teamer Dragons is here. It have dragons. There's many flavors of Teamer. There's 2 different flavors of Teamer Dragons that you can play right now.
Very fun.
I lost that. They just had too much card advantage. It was quite good. I liked their deck.
Is this one where you're playing? Are you playing Ureni?
Yes.
Well, I'm in.
Yeah, so it has Meringue, River Regent, Bloomvine Regent, Terror of the Peaks,
All the
Dragonologist,
dragons.
Magmatic Hellkite, and Ureni.
Can this
So many.
possibly be good? How on
I
earth
think
does
that
it survive against mono red?
This one I didn't play because I was like, this is too expensive. This deck I do think is simply too expensive.
How do you survive?
Like mana cost wise. But that being said, I am going to try it out.
Okay,
at some
yeah,
point.
science. We have to do science here, everybody.
Yes. There's also a Frogs deck.
Frogs.
It's legitimately a Frogs deck with Clement the Worrywart. This is another one that again I want to try this, and this is on this list. So someone did well with
Somebody is winning 6 games in a row at Mythic.
Exactly. It looks great. I like it.
So everyone, if you're interested in trying these decks, you can find them at magic.gg under the deck list tab. And this one is for the week of May 12th.
Yes.
So that's where they are if you're interested in checking these out. Meanwhile, in the pro scene, things are not as fun.
They never are, Maria.
And we just had the regional championship happen in Hartford at SCG Con this past weekend.
Yes.
And a mono red deck took the thing down in the hands of Percy Fang. Mono red aggro, using a lot of lizards.
Yep.
Using mice and lizards.
We've seen it before.
Monstrous Rage.
All right.
Monastery Swiftspear, you're dead. Yeah. So that kind of makes me sad because that is
yeah,
classic kind of we've been around the block with that before.
Yeah.
And
we also had 2 weeks ago the other SCG Con here in Minneapolis.
Yes.
Which was won by Jeskai Control, which before I was just like, I want to do spicier, sillier things.
Yeah.
I was playing this and it was nice. But Is It Prowess is kind of like the hotness right now.
Yeah.
Is the deck that you at least have to have in mind when you're playing. That's why not Temporal Lockdown. That's why Temporary Lockdown is so good right now.
I'm looking
that
at
card's a freaking house.
The top 8 here from Hartford.
Yes.
So like I said, mono red won, but we had 1, 2, 3 copies of Is It Prowess in the top 8. Orzhov Pixie, which has been around for some time now in the top 8. Azorius Control. And then, what is this? Orzhov Demons?
Oh, interesting.
Okay, Gavin.
You have my interest.
You have my interest in whatever deck that is. Interesting. I'm going to have to look that one up, too.
I was going to say, this is actually similar. There was a mono black demons list that someone used to they weren't in the top 8 in Minneapolis, but they did qualify.
Okay.
For the Pro Tour, which was mono, like I said, mono black demons. It had Archfiend of the Dross, of course, which is quite good. Ooh, Karsi Revenant, which is one of the cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Yeah,
very
that's a good card.
Of course, Shieldred. She's still around.
Wow, still legal and standard.
Still? How?
Well, she probably will be for the next 4 years. 3 years?
Forever and a day. The Speed Demon.
Oh, from Aetherdrift.
Yeah.
All right, Aetherdrift getting a card in there.
Yep, exactly. And then, of course, Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber, which is the rooms.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Love
Duskmourn.
Unholy Annex, Ritual Chamber. A+, big fan. Is It Prowess was the most played deck in Hartford this past weekend.
Makes sense.
36% of the field. So
wow. Big chunk.
Big chunk.
But I'm saying that's why I think that if you find the right deck right now,
that maybe
that you can play that is good against it. I don't know. I will say I don't know why it's so popular right now because I do feel like it's easy to find a list that's good against it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my 2 hot cents. My 2 red pennies.
Azorius Omniscience was second with 11% of the field, which is a huge drop from 36%. And then ones we've seen before, Jeskai Oculus, Jeskai Control, Zur Overlord's hanging in there.
Yeah, it is.
4.2% of the field.
Still up there.
Yeah, so I don't know. PT coming up next month. New cards are going to be added to the mix with Final Fantasy. I keep seeing people saying that these Final Fantasy cards are very powerful. So they could have a real impact on the standard environment ahead of that Pro Tour.
Yeah, I'm very excited to find out. I will say, yeah, I'm looking at the decks from the week of May 19th, which are a little bit more like the usual fare. It was just like there was one exciting weekend there.
One exciting week in Magic.
Yeah. Love that movie.
There
actually is a really cool like red blue dragons list with Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant.
Okay.
And Phyrexian Dragon Engine. And a bunch of other like kind of wild stuff. I'm into this. This also looks interesting to me.
Maybe hope is still alive out there, friends.
Yeah.
For interesting things happening in Standard. All we're asking for is variety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can have your mono red list, but like at least let it be hit down by a hammer of a couple other decks, not just a control deck. Okay? I want a few decks to be able to hang.
Oh, do you know what? There's also like a kind of cool sacrifice deck that has Braid's Arisen Nightmare. This is a red-black sacrifice deck. It has 4 copies of Disturbing Mirth, which is the enchantment from Duskmourn. When it enters, you may sacrifice another enchantment or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. When you sacrifice Disturbing Mirth, manifest Dread. So 4 copies of that. Of course, Hopeless Nightmare, Clockwork Percussionist, Spiteful Hexmage, and then Braid's Arisen Nightmare and Perforating Artist. This one looks sick, honestly.
Okay.
And it has 4 copies of Final Vengeance, which is as an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature or enchantment. I like that. That's a little spicy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone out there, have you been having fun in Standard? If you haven't, check out some of these decks. It could be a good time, at least to get you up to Platinum.
Yeah.
And if you're a drafter, which if you listen to our show, maybe you are, you probably have enough cards in your collection, enough wild cards to build this stuff for free.
Oh, here's another version of this red-white Cascade deck.
Hey, maybe it's a real thing.
Yeah. This one is a different build by someone else. I assume by someone else.
Well, Megan, your name's
this one
getting on the list next week.
Use of prototype cards. There's Autonomous Assembler. This is a 5-mana 4/5 vigilance. 1 tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target assembly worker you control. But it's 1 and a white for its prototype version, which is a 2/2.
Yeah, that's another way to get around that Cascade cost. We got Adventures. We have, what are they called? Omens. And then we have Prototypes.
Yeah. All right.
Sick.
I like this. Very spicy.
Yes. But like I said, if you've got something you want to share with us, head on over to the Good Luck High Five Discord. Let us know what you've been playing. We'd love to hear about it.
Mm-hmm. I obviously really would, which is wild to me. It's surprising to me too, you all. Oh, there's another artifact deck with Eugene. This one is playing 4 copies of Candy Trail. What the heck? Okay. Like, go off, King.
Candy Trail. Thanks for listening to this episode of Good Luck High Five, everybody. We are gonna be coming at you with a lot of content in the next week. Like we mentioned, Desert Bus this weekend, the 24th. We've got an 8-hour shift. Come check it out. Twitch.tv/loading-ready-run. Support a great cause. We also next week are going to be releasing a Final Fantasy Commander episode on the 30th.
Oh,
playing the pre-con. So make sure you check that out over on Commander Arcade. Which is youtube.com/@GLHF Commander. On the 22nd this week, we are appearing on Elder Dragon Hijinks with Ailey and Olivia from that show. One of the first episodes to see the light of day from Camp Cardboard up in Canada.
So exciting!
So go check out their channel, give them a like and a follow, and check out that video. I'm trying to remember what happened that game because we did play a million games that weekend.
It was 1 million. And this is the one, Judge Rob thinks that this is maybe the one where
No.
Okay.
It's not. We had to call Judge Rob mid-game in one of these games up in Canada.
Yes, that's true.
But it's on our channel.
It's on our channel.
Yeah, which I'm very happy for because what a great Oscar-winning moment that will be. Because it's just hilarious. The question is absurd and does not come out the way that you would think.
No.
Quite honestly.
It really doesn't.
But yeah, we're going to be in EDH Hijinks on the 22nd, so that should already be up. So go and check out their YouTube channel. Support all of our magical content friends. We had just the greatest time in Canada.
We really
recording with everybody. So lots of stuff coming out very soon for you to enjoy from the GLHF family.
Nice.
Thanks to our patrons. You can become one. Patreon.com/GLHF
Thanks again, Greg.
Greg, you're awesome. Thanks to Card Kingdom. Thanks to Dragon Shield. And thanks to yourself, just, even if you're not a patron, just for being here and existing with us.
Thank you so much.
And I know we talk at you a lot, but if you want, at the end of the show, you can just say whatever you want and into the air, and maybe we'll hear it.
And I'm sorry about what I said about your outfit earlier. I didn't mean it.
Uncalled for.